Hello everyone. Welcome to Cards and Coffee. I'm just trying to make sure I've got everything here in my screen. Thank you for joining me here. If you are not familiar with Cards and Coffee, what we do is every Wednesday at noon, I jump on here and share with you a quick and easy card that you can make in 15 minutes or less over your lunch hour. Or if you're just looking last minute to put together a card for someone, this will give you lots of different layouts and ideas and things that you can put together in your own special way. So today, I am going to be showcasing a card using the Hippo Happiness set. I'm kind of excited about this because I have had this set for a while and have not had adequate time to play with it at all. So I have today decided that this is a card we're going to pull out. Also, my sister-in-law asked me to make a baby card for her. So this was kind of my first go at that. So we'll have to see what she thinks about this card. The other thing that comes with, doesn't come with the Hippo Happiness set, but coordinates with it, are the Hippo and Friends dies. And so they look like this. And this is for anyone that has a die cutting machine, such as a Stampin cut and emboss machine. All of these dies, I believe, should fit through the mini machine as well. And so if you even have the mini machine, you should be good to go with these dies also. My favorite part of this stamp set, well actually, and the coordinating dies, is all of these different label pieces. So they have these long labels and different layering shapes. So you cut out the small one and cut out the next one, you've now got two labels that you can layer together. And so in the different sizes, whichever size that you need. And so it works really well with the Hippo Happiness stamp set. But these labels are really easy to intertwine with other stamp sets. I think I'm a really big sucker for a good label set. And so the other stamp set that or the die set that I really like is the Tasteful Labels dies. They have some gorgeous labels in them. Hippo Happiness also has a really, really nice stackable layering dies. And these are just kind of a unique shape here that you don't see in any other die set. And they're just so fun and so cute. Anyways, today we are going to use these products to create maybe a non-traditional baby card. I don't know. It's kind of, we'll see. You'll see what I mean. It's like maybe not your traditional colors or whatnot, but I'm going to show you how you can take this card and make it into any color that you want, and give you an idea of how you might make this into a more traditional card if that's what you would like to do as well. So the first thing we're going to do is for our products today, I have already die cut out in the smallest of those labels that I showed you in white, in this set right up here. In the second size, I cut it out in Coastal Cabana. Now we're using Smoky Slate for our card base. We have got one piece that measures 4 by 5 1/4. So we've just taken a 1/4 inch off to allow for a border on our card front. And then we have our card base, which measures 8.5 by 5.5. So this is just a half a sheet of cardstock. So this is always what you're going to start with a regular standard size card base. It would be 5.5 by 8.5, or you could cut your cardstock the other direction and then it would be 4 1/4 by 11, and you would just have a top fold instead of a side fold. Anyways, we are going to go ahead and fold our cardstock here to create our base. So I usually just give it kind of a preemptive little fold, and then I take my bone folder and give it a nice good crease. And so this is going to make your card lay flat and sit really nicely inside of your envelope. All right, so let's set that aside, and we're going to work on this piece. I'm going to set these aside as well for a moment so I don't get ink on them. You know, I'm all pretty talented at spilling ink everywhere. So using gray granite, so this is not the same color. This is Smoky Slate, and this is gray granite. So one of the things is I don't have an ink pad that coordinates with this, but also, not coordinates, but that's the same color, because you could do tone on tone. But also this is going to allow the images just to pop up a little bit more off of the gray and be a little bit more emphasized. So you'll see that. So I've got a gray granite ink pad today. You could absolutely use a gray granite or a Smoky Slate to do the same thing. So whichever you have on hand. And that's the great thing about Stampin' Up! Is that you just take what you have on hand and you can just change all of these designs and ideas and make them your own. So I have taken the little pony out of the stamp set, and I am just going to randomly stamp here on our card our little hoppy pony. So you see, kind of looks like he's hopping across the cardstock a little bit, and I kind of want to just fill in some of the holes here. We're going to do the same thing here, and I'm going to kind of just try to offset them a little bit so that they're not like all sort of lined up the same, although it really does not matter exactly where you put these. We're just trying to fill in, create our own pattern paper sort of on the background of our cardstock. So there we go. We've got our little hopping horses or ponies going across our paper. And the other thing that I added, just to add a little more interest, was with the Craft Whisper White stamp pad. Now this is the old one, which is why it opens like this. And this is a craft ink. So craft ink sits on top of the paper. So when you use your Whisper White, it shows up on top of the dark cardstock because it's sitting on top of your paper. So given that it does take an extra second to dry, more than your water-based inks will, but it makes a difference. So I don't even know if you can see that so much. When it dries, it kind of dries a little bit whiter. Anyways, they're on there. They're little star snowflakey things that I'm just going to stamp in here randomly. And I don't know how much you can see it or not in the camera, but it just adds a little something extra into the background. And again, this is from that same Hippo Happiness, right? Hippo Happiness set, yeah. So I'm just putting it wherever there was kind of a hole in the back. I've just added some of those white stamps in there. Do you see that at all? I don't know if you can. When it dries, it shows a little bit more, but it's actually really subtle in the background, but it just adds a little bit, another layer of interest to our card. Okay, let's take our sentiment now, which is going to be on this small white piece. Now, normally what I would recommend is stamping your sentiment first and then die cutting it out. That way you're going to make sure you get your die cut around your sentiment straight and centered in every way that you want it to be before you cut it out. However, just in the interest of time and the interest of television, I have die cut it out first. So wish me luck as I try to stamp it in the middle and straight, but it's okay. So I have got Coastal Cabana here, and this is going to match sort of that background piece that I already previously cut out as well. This stamp comes from the In Your Word stamp set. Now this stamp set is available through Saleabration, and this is one that is for hosts or for those who purchase over, if you make a purchase over $300 or you host a workshop that has a total over $300, you get this stamp set for free. So this is really nice. It has a number of very different sentiments for all different kinds of occasions. I just thought this one was really fun for a baby card. There's magic in every beginning. So, and I just think our little pony is kind of magical. So I'm not sure. When I saw it, I thought it was perfect for this card. All right, we didn't do too bad. So there's magic in every beginning. There we go, in Coastal Cabana. I'm going to close this up and I'm going to add this onto the front of the next layer just with some Stampin' Seal. You could use liquid glue for this, whatever you have on hand, but I am going to just put this directly on here and layer it up like so. Try to make sure it's sort of in the middle. Okay, now I'm going to add some ribbon on the back of this, and you've seen me do this before, but the way I'm going to do this is turn over my piece that I want the ribbon on. I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive to the back. You don't need a ton, just a little spot there. And I am going to use actually the Pool Party sheer ribbon. So this is in, I think it's Pool Party, but because it's sheer and it just kind of has that blue tone, it really matches any of sort of the blues and the blue-green colors. It kind of looks similar to all of them because it's sheer. So when I put it with this, it doesn't look out of place. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the tail hanging out like this, and I'm going to go up, and this is before I've even cut it off, and I might have to add a little more adhesive because I didn't really add very much on here. And I want at least enough to stick my ribbon to. All right, so we're going to go like this. We're going to stick it down, come around the other side. We're going to wrap it back up, and you can make your bow as big or as small as you like. So we're basically just making a bow without actually having to tie a bow and without the extra volume of a knot in the middle. So this is just a really nice option for that. So I'm going to cut that off, and then we can decide if it's too long or too short, and we can change it as we go. I'm going to add some dimensionals to the back, one right in the middle there with our ribbon. Okay, take off the backings. Now another really nice option when you're adding labels of this side are foam adhesive sheets. They come in like full sheets of this that basically are dimensionals that have not been cut. So you can cut them to whatever size you want, and then you can put a larger piece in here that's going to fill in or lift up that entire shape without having to put on so many little pieces. They're really handy. All right, so now we've got this. Let me see where I want to put this. My other one I put towards the bottom, my demo card. You know what? I think I'm going to put this one at the top just for a change. There we go. Okay, and let's add this to our card base. Now, because I've lifted up this top piece with dimensionals, and I know that this is probably going to go in the mail, I don't want to add too much bulk to it because then we're going to have to pay extra postage. So in this case, I am just going to add this layer with Stampin' Seal to my card base. You could lift it up again with dimensionals if you wanted to add another layer of interest. I love layers, and I love adding your card base, even if it's in the same color, just giving it a little bit, a second layer in there. I think it really does make all the difference, and it really is an easy way to dress up your card just by cutting another front piece so that you have a border around there. I think it makes a big difference. And also then if you make a mistake on your card front that you're going to glue on, you can just cut another card front instead of having to cut a whole new piece of a whole new card base. Anyways, I'm going to trim that off just so it's not sticking out. And there we go. Let's add a few embellishments to our card, of course. So these are the Rhinestone Basic Jewels. I'm going to use my Take a Pick tool, which I love. And I am almost out of rhinestones, probably because my daughter has been in my craft room. If you've seen some of Eliana's videos, you know she loves to add bling just like her mother. So again, I'm just going to randomly add a few of the Rhinestone Basic Jewels because they have sort of that silver that I think goes with the gray really nicely. Isn't that pretty and super, super easy? So it's kind of non-traditional in its colors, but really, really fun. Because we went so fast, I actually wanted to show you how you could make this card into another color. So I'm just going to clean my stamps a little bit here so that we can transition to making this into a girly card. So give me 1 second here as I clean this up and shake y'all. So I figure that I beat you to lunch. You haven't had lunch yet, or you're eating as you watch, and it's probably not going to make you seasick. You'll be okay. Okay, so we've cleaned that up. Now I have got here Petal Pink, which is to me just the epitome of girly. I just really, really love this color, and we are going to do the same thing. However, I am going to use different colors. So I am going to stick with Petal Pink. And so now you're going to see how it would look tone on tone with using the exact same color as the cardstock. It's going to be a little bit more subdued in its color, which I think is really pretty for feminine cards. Just a really soft, subdued kind of color. So we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to have our Hoppin' Little Pony going across our cardstock, just like so. I'm going to put little feet up there, I think. All right, I think we're good. So just like that, now we have our little pink horses. But what I wanted to share with you is in the stamp set, they have so many adorable little animals and stuff. I wanted to actually take my little pony and add a unicorn horse. So we're going to make a little unicorn card for this one. Now, one thing I wanted to show you is that this is a 2-step stamp set. So right now I am only using the background portion of the horse. Let me show you, or the pony, or whatever you want to call it. So let me show you what the intention is. So actually I didn't do that right. So normally on the background you're going to have sort of a stamped off, it's hard to do with the pink. Anyways, let me just show you. Let me grab the second layer here. And then you stamp the second layer over top to give you a little bit more definition on your stamp. I just got to grab another block here. Sorry. Okay. And then you would take the second stamp and you're going to just kind of eyeball it over top. And that's why they're photopolymer stamps, is so that you can see through them. I don't know if you can see that. So now that we've added another layer of color, the top color is a little bit darker. And from there, you add the little faces or whichever components you want to finish your little horse off. So it's just adorable. You could add a bow tie on him. In this case, I am going to add a unicorn horn. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of these little snowflakes this time. And I'm going to get a unicorn horn out of here. And we are going to turn our little horses into unicorns. And I'm just going to stick with the same colors. Now let me try it on here. I don't know exactly, where do you put your unicorn horn? Do you put it on your horse head like that? Yeah, I guess so. Where's the horn back here? No, I think it goes on the head like this, doesn't it? Oopsies, not on the nose. Not on the nose, people. Good grief. Well, we're going to randomly make crazy unicorns that actually just look like they have really big noses. But in a world where you actually practice this, I haven't practiced this ahead of time, you would get your horn in the right place and it would actually look like a unicorn. Actually, I think they're pretty cute, just like that. All right, let's set this aside. And again, we could add some white in the background if we wanted to. I might change it up though and add this little flower instead of the little dots. So let's do that. I'm going to clean this little horn off and get rid of it. All right, we've got our Whisper White. We are going to stamp some flowers in here in the background. Again, just as a soft background effect here to add something to our card. Like, there's nothing really more magical, I think, than a unicorn. I think our sentiment is going to be perfect for this card. I think I'm done. Okay. All right. Now, I am going to make my sentiment slightly darker. I think I might stamp it in Blushing Bride instead of Petal Pink. What do you think? I think I'm going to do that. What do you think? Should I stamp it a little bit darker or stamp it in the same? I'm going to stamp it the same. I changed my mind, people. Changed my mind. But this is just the fun of stamping, right? You can kind of just keep trying out different things until you find what you like or what you intended to make. And we're going to stick with the same sentiment. There we go. Now in this one, I didn't actually print or didn't cut out a background, a second piece for it, but you absolutely could. I was thinking more of just you leaving it white and again adding some ribbon behind it. I think that's what I'm going to do to keep it a little bit more soft and feminine. So this is the new, what are we calling this? Glittered Organdy ribbon in the mini catalog. And it has glitter right into the ribbon, if you can see that. And it really just kind of reflects the colors that are in your card. So this is going to look really nice and pink against this card. So we're going to use that. I'm going to do the same thing as I did last time, adding the adhesive to the back. And making a nice bow. Go back again. I'm going to just cut this off and then finish adhering it down. Just like that. Okay, let's put our dimensionals on. And because this is a little bit smaller, I'm just going to stick 3 in the middle. I'm not going to worry about putting quite as many on with this label. And you can decide, I'll show you both after, you can decide which you prefer, if you like it better with the background label on there or not. Let's see, what kind of dimensional should we use? Of course, I like the sparkly ones. Those are too pink. I've got these. These are kind of pretty. What do you think about those? I haven't even opened those yet. Or these kind of look pink against there, don't they? We also have little pearls. I am going to use these ones. These are the champagne rhinestones, and they have the most bling for the buck. So we're going to stick with these ones. These ones are really pretty. And they come in 3 different sizes. So you've got a lot of little ones, a few medium-sized ones, and then a few large ones. So it's really nice, to, I think, to mix up the different sizes when you're adding them to your cards. And it's also really nice, for some reason, it's pleasing to the eye if you add them in odd numbers. So I tend to add 3 or 5 to my cards when I put them on. All right, let's add this one with an extra layer of dimensionals, just to see which way we like it. Okay, so we're gonna fold our card base. So really, I wasn't planning on doing a second card, but for some reason, I got here early. Like, that never happens. You know, I'm usually like, sorry, I'm a couple minutes late. But I got here early, like almost 10 minutes early. And so I was sitting there going, waiting for my time to go on live. And I'm like, you know what? I want to just try this in a different colorway. And so that's where we got to Petal Pink today. It was kind of an afterthought, but I think it was you could also layer this on white, I think, would be pretty, because we've got the white here. Might actually be prettier with the white, I think. But anyways, there we go. So we have our pink unicorn card, which we could totally, you know, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm going to add some Wink of Stella glitter to my little, not to my ponies. I'm going to just add it right here by my words. Add a little bit of glitter in here. You know what you could do instead of the white? You could use the, what is that called? Shimmery white cardstock. And it has a natural glitter to it already. That would be really pretty. Anyways, I have added a little bit of glitter to the words, which you can kind of see. You can see it better in person. But anyways, there we go. We have one girl card and one that's maybe a little bit more masculine. But I think this could be a unisex card. But anyways, there we have a girl and a boy card. So what do you think? Do you like it better with the background label, like so that the label pops, or do you like it a little bit softer and more monochromatic? I don't know. I think they're both adorable, and I love my little unicorns, even if the horns are coming out of the wrong spot. Anyways, have a lovely day. I hope you enjoyed this card. If you're interested in checking out these stamp sets, I did put links for you in the description, which you can find sort of at the bottom of the comment feed or in the description of the final post. Also, right now is Saleabration, so if you were to pick these up, for every $60 purchase, you get to choose free things. So, and again, if your order gets to 300, you are going to get this stamp set for free. So Saleabration is a great time to take care of some of the things on your wish list. And there's a link to shop in the description as well. If you have any questions or comments or thoughts, let me know how you enjoyed these cards, or if you're making them, share in the comments. I'd love to see what you guys have been up to. Happy stamping. Have a wonderful Wednesday. And thank you so much for joining me and taking the time to be here for Cards and Coffee. See you next week. Bye-bye.